JAMB and CBT training. Intensive JAMB and WACE coaching classes with experienced teachers is ongoing. You will also be trained on computer-based training, CBT. Visit Taraba Business School today. We are located opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Hamarua Way, Jalingo, Taraba State. You can call the following numbers for inquiries: 080 602 69140, 070 634 28464, 080 606 60861. Do you want to score 280 and above in JAMB? At Taraba Business School, we can make your dream come through. Register now for our JAMB and CBT training. Intensive JAMB and WACE coaching classes with experienced teachers is ongoing. You will also be trained on computer-based training, CBT. Visit Taraba Business School today. We are located opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Hamarua Way, Jalingo, Taraba State. You can call the following numbers for inquiries: 080 602 69140, 070 634 28464, 080 606 60861. Do you want to score 280 and above in JAMB?
With the second highest death toll of all African conflicts, the Nigerian Civil War, also known as the Biafran War, is perhaps the single most significant event in Nigerian history. This three-year conflict, which raged on from the 6th of July 1967 till the 15th of January 1970, would claim the lives of over 100,000 soldiers and an estimated 2 million civilians, as the Nigerian government, led by General Yakubu Gowon, fought to prevent the secession of the self-proclaimed Republic of Biafra, which was led by General Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu. To fully understand the root cause of this brutal conflict, we need to go all the way back to the very beginning. Upon gaining independence from Great Britain in 1960, the newly formed Nigerian Republic was greatly divided, as its three largest ethnic groups struggled to live in harmony. Beyond the more obvious distinctions like language, clothing, and marriage customs, Nigeria's three main ethnic groups also had fundamental differences in values and worldviews, which had been developed over the many centuries leading up to the colonial era and the formation of the Nigerian state. The Igbos, who represented about 60 to 70% of the population of the southeast, were mostly Christians who, in the centuries before the colonial era, had lived in relatively egalitarian societies. Although most Igbo towns and villages were headed by monarchs known as Ezes, the political decision-making process within Igbo communities was actually quite democratic, as it involved general assemblies composed of title holders and other respected members of Igbo society. Status was acquired through one's ability to solve societal issues, and respect was given primarily to those who had acquired wealth, as opposed to those who had simply inherited it. The character of Okonkwo in the book Things Fall Apart by renowned Nigerian author Chinua Achebe was in many ways the perfect illustration of the uniquely Igbo vision of the self-made man. The Igbo's particular appreciation for wealth creation through hard work is undoubtedly the main reason why many of Nigeria's champions of industry have been of Igbo ancestry. By contrast, the majority Muslim Hausa Fulani, which represented about 65% of the northern population, had lived for many years in feudal societies in which large working-class populations were ruled by a small theocratic elite composed of emirs and sultans. As their political leaders often doubled as religious leaders, compliance and submission to the will of the political establishment was not simply a civic duty, but a religious one. Very much unlike in Igbo societies, there was nothing particularly odd or shameful about a man aspiring to live a modest life as a farm worker, craftsman, or a nomadic cattle herder. But contrary to commonly held prejudices, the Hausa Fulani were not in any way lazier or inherently less enterprising than their southern counterparts. They simply had a deeper appreciation for religious discipline and had a more socially conservative worldview. However, there is no denying the fact that while the unquestioning submissiveness of northern societies to the theocratic establishment guaranteed internal stability and order, it also meant that the north was a lot less economically vibrant. Northerners were generally less open to new ideas and often completely rejected secular education in favor of Islamic education. Demonstrating the extent of Nigeria's north-south divide, some studies estimated that as at Nigeria's independence in 1960, northern Nigeria had an English literacy rate of just 2%, compared to the southeast, which had an English literacy rate of 19.2%. The Yorubas, which formed about 75% of Nigeria's southwestern population, were in many ways a sort of halfway house between the Igbos and the Hausa Fulani, both in terms of their religious affiliation and their political history. Although also majority Christian, they nevertheless had significant populations of Muslims as well as followers of the ancient Yoruba religions. In simple terms, the traditional Yoruba political structure was basically less autocratic than the Hausa Fulani, but not as democratic as the Igbo. For centuries, Yoruba societies were ruled by kings known as Obas, who governed in close consultation with chiefs, priests, and priestesses. Culturally, the Yorubas were quite similar to the Igbo in their appreciation for individual drive and ambition. However, the Yorubas tended to channel their energies towards excellence in the arts and academia, as opposed to pure industry and wealth creation. Many often point to the Yorubas' deep appreciation of the arts as the reason why many of Nigeria's most prominent cultural icons, such as Afrobeat legend Fela Kuti and the Nobel Prize laureate Professor Wole Soyinka, have been of Yoruba ancestry. But to say that the differences between Nigeria's three main tribes meant that every Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa Fulani person hated anyone who wasn't from their tribe would be very far from the truth. In reality, most Yoruba societies got on well enough with Igbo societies. The main culture clash, if you like, was between the Hausa Fulanis of the north and the two major ethnic groups of the south. Prior to the colonial era, ancient Yoruba kingdoms such as the Oyo Empire had for many years suffered under several waves of jihadi attacks by the Islamic Sokoto Caliphate of the north, led by the famous Sultan Uthman Dan Fodio. Now, although the Igbos did not have a similar history of warring with the Hausa Fulani, the British colonial enterprise would create the perfect environment for the sharp differences between these two tribes to be brought to the forefront. In 1914, British High Commissioner Frederick Lugard effectively created the country we know today as Nigeria by bringing the northern and southern regions together in the now infamous Nigerian Amalgamation of 1914. Till this very day, the feeling amongst many Yoruba and Igbo historians is that one of the main purposes of this amalgamation was to place the more affluent South under the control of the autocratic North. The theory goes that by joining the more educated and therefore less controllable southern region to the much larger northern region, the British government was better able to implement its policy of indirect rule, as the amalgamation essentially gave dominion over the entire country to the northern elites, who were significantly less rebellious and generally more amenable to British interests. It is also worth noting that from 1914 onwards, the British adopted a practice of placing northerners in key leadership positions within the colonial administration. Despite being generally better educated, southerners were more often than not limited to managerial and executive roles within the colonial apparatus. When the struggle for Nigeria's independence began to take shape, it was mainly Yoruba and Igbo intellectuals such as the political activist Funmi Ransome Kuti and the renowned jurist Jaja Wachukwu that led the fight for Nigeria's sovereignty. According to some historians, many of the northern elites were not at all welcoming to the idea of an independent Nigeria, as they feared that independence would mean losing the privileged positions that they had enjoyed under the colonial structure. The story goes that as a condition for them agreeing to support the push for Nigeria's independence, the northern leadership specifically demanded that the new nation maintain its colonial political structure. And even though it pretty much guaranteed a continuation of the North's dominance, the Igbo and Yoruba leaders, in their desperation to gain independence at all costs, agreed to the North's demands. And so upon its independence on the 1st of October 1960, the Nigerian state was divided into three geopolitical regions, in which a disproportionately large northern region was united with two smaller eastern and western regions. Nigeria's British-style parliamentary government was led by its first and only Prime Minister, Alhaji Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, the northern co-founder of his political party, the Northern People's Congress. Tafawa Balewa's NPC party governed in coalition with the Igbo-aligned National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, which was led by Nigeria's Governor-General, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the man who would later go on to serve as the ceremonial president of the First Nigerian Republic, which was established in 1963. The Yoruba-aligned Action Group Party, which was headed by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, played the opposition role. If unity was the goal, then the Nigerian state had gotten off to a very bad start. Nigeria's parliamentary system was a bit of a farce, as Nigeria's three main parties were not built around ideology, but on ethnic nationalism. With the vast majority of Nigeria's general population still largely unfamiliar with the Western-style democratic system of their new country, pretty much everyone voted based on ethnicity. The Southwesterners voted for the AG, the Southeasterners for the NCNC, and the Northerners for the NPC. And as the Northern region was by far the largest constituency, the NPC was basically guaranteed control over Nigeria, as none of the other two parties could compete with the NPC's large northern voting base. As you can imagine, it was only a matter of time before the shoddy foundations on which the Nigerian state had been built began to show serious signs of strain. The entrepreneurial spirit of the Igbos would see many of them move out of their hometowns in search of all the opportunities their new nation had to offer. From Lagos to Benin, Port Harcourt, and even major northern cities like Kano and Kaduna, Igbos began to build businesses and pioneer new industries in the places they migrated to. But as is often the case with successful immigrants, it wasn't long before many of the locals, especially in the north, began to feel more than a bit uncomfortable with the success of their new neighbors.
One thing I've noticed, Premier, while I've been here, is that Northerners seem to have, I might almost call it, obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 Northerners in our civil service here. Then I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by Northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with Northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or a permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is a Northerner first. If you can't get a Northerner, then we take an expatriate like yourself on contract. If we can't, then we can employ another Nigerian, but on contract too. This is going to be permanent, I should say, as far as I can foresee, because it will be rather dangerous to see the number of boys who are now turning from all our learning institutions, coming out with having no work to do. I'm sure whichever government of the day might be, it will feel rather embarrassed, and it might even lead to bloodshed.
Doesn't this damage the idea, sir, of all people in all regions in Nigeria being fellow citizens of one country?
Well, it might, but you are, new to our region, but how many Northerners are employed in the east or in the west? The answer is no. And if there are, there may be 10 laborers employed only in the two regions.
It was against this backdrop of rising anti-Igbo sentiment in the north that the chain of events that ultimately led to the Civil War would begin to unfold. By as early as the year 1966, most Nigerians had already begun to resent the ruling elite for their lavish lifestyles and lack of sensitivity to the concerns of the masses. Rumors about vote rigging, corruption, and backdoor deals between politicians and foreign companies began to spread, and there was a general sense of discontentment in the air. Deciding that enough was enough, Major Chukwuma Kaduna Nzeogwu, an Igbo officer in the Nigerian army, instigated a revolutionary coup against the federal government. This coup would see the assassination of the Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa, the Premier of the Northern Region Sir Ahmadu Bello, as well as the Premier of the Western Region Chief Samuel Akintola. But rather suspiciously, the President, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, would manage to escape the bloodbath as he was out of the country on holiday when the coup took place. But despite the execution of many key members of the government, the coup led by Major Nzeogwu was ultimately unsuccessful, as it was quashed by a different faction of the Nigerian army, led by Major General Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi, who, interestingly enough, was also of Igbo ancestry. After managing to secure the surrender of the coup plotters, Aguiyi Ironsi was declared military head of state. But even though both the instigator and the stopper of the coup were of Igbo descent, various conspiracy theories began to spread in the north, suggesting that the entire thing was all part of an undercover master plan to put General Aguiyi Ironsi in power and transfer control of Nigeria over to the Igbos. Oddly enough, there was actually a fair bit of evidence in support of this theory. 4 out of 5 of the coup plotters were Igbo, and although Aguiyi Ironsi stopped the coup, he did not execute any of the coup plotters. To make matters worse, no significant Igbo leader was killed in the coup. President Nnamdi Azikiwe had avoided all the drama thanks to his suspiciously timed holiday, while Michael Okpara, the Premier of the Eastern Region, had also managed to survive the coup, even though he did end up losing his job to Colonel Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, the man who would later go on to lead Biafra's attempt to break away from Nigeria. These anti-Igbo conspiracy theories would eventually grow from mere rumor and conjecture to an article of faith in the minds of many Northerners. And on the 29th of July 1966, a group of Northern Army officers instigated a counter-coup against the Ironsi administration. Unlike the previous one, this coup was successful. Major General Aguiyi Ironsi was assassinated, and Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Gowon, a Northerner, was installed as Nigeria's new military head of state. Unfortunately, the northern retaliation would not end there. In the 3 months following the coup, an estimated 8,000 to 30,000 Southeasterners living in the north would be attacked, killed, and robbed by local mobs. Fearing for their lives, over 1 million Southeasterners fled back to their homelands, leaving behind businesses, homes, churches, and in some unfortunate cases, children that had been the fruit of inter-ethnic marriages. With the deluge of refugees flooding back into the eastern region with shocking stories of betrayal and trauma, the Nigerian project was on the brink of collapse. As many Easterners no longer felt safe in other parts of Nigeria, the military governor of the Eastern region, Colonel Ojukwu, began to call for Igbos from all around Nigeria to return home. Rumors about the Eastern region's impending breakaway from Nigeria became front-page news after it was reported that a plane carrying imported weapons had crashed in the eastern city of Enugu. Knowingly or unknowingly, Colonel Ojukwu essentially confirmed all rumors with a series of rousing criticisms of the Gowon administration's failure to provide adequate protection to the thousands of Igbos who were being attacked and killed by people they imagined were their fellow citizens. With tensions at an all-time high, General Yakubu Gowon and other key members of the government agreed to meet with Colonel Ojukwu at a neutral location so that both sides could try to de-escalate the situation. This 2-day meeting would take place in the Ghanaian town of Aburi from the 4th to the 5th of January 1967. To Gowon's great surprise, Colonel Ojukwu took the meeting very seriously and was very well prepared. He set out very clearly all of the Eastern region's demands, which included greater political autonomy, greater control over the revenue from the Southeast oil deposits, and also a restructuring of the Nigerian army in a way that devolved powers to the regions and got rid of the unfair recruitment quota system, which had allowed for a disproportionately large number of northerners to join the Nigerian army. Although many still debate what exactly was agreed at this meeting, General Ojukwu left Aburi fully convinced that Gowon had accepted all of the Eastern region's demands. This controversial agreement, known today as the Aburi Accord, was not honored by the Gowon administration. Upon returning to Nigeria, General Yakubu Gowon decided instead to break Nigeria's regions into smaller states and turn Nigeria into an American-style federation composed of 12 states. Except unlike in the American system, each state had very little autonomy and very little control over its own resources. For many in the southeast, this was the last straw. With the Gowon administration having put its cards on the table, Colonel Ojukwu's mind was made up. He proceeded to consult with the various chiefs and traditional rulers of the eastern region, and on the 30th of May 1967, Ojukwu officially announced the secession of the eastern region and the establishment of the state of Biafra. And with the support of many key members of the southeastern leadership, Colonel Ojukwu cut all ties with the Nigerian army and was proclaimed General Ojukwu, Biafran President and Commander-in-Chief of the Biafran Army. The declaration of Biafra's secession was celebrated in the streets. For many, the establishment of Biafra was a long-awaited restoration of the pre-colonial sovereignty of the region and the beginning of a bright new dawn for its people. But unfortunately, the celebrations would be short-lived, as the Nigerian government's response was to declare war on Biafra. And although the Biafran army had no air force, no navy, and a chronic shortage of weapons and manpower, General Ojukwu was surprisingly optimistic about his new nation's ability to withstand the Nigerian army.
If civil war comes, and I do think it is imminent, you're quite right, it will for us be the price of freedom. Our people here have for a long time been prepared for this eventuality, and I am confident of their readiness. I think that when it does come, that the people on the other side would be surprised as to what they're going to get. And I'm confident that it will not last long. I can't say for certain what Lagos has got. When we lost direct contact with Lagos, they had some 4 battalions, ill-equipped, and I know that they have been purchasing a lot of arms since, and I know that they have negotiated and received a few armored vehicles. Prior to that, they had some scout cars. I know they have tried to get planes. I am not sure they have got them there. But on our side, we too have not been sitting quietly. There has been quite a lot of build-up. And I think what I have here is sufficient to maintain the integrity of Biafra and more.
But putting aside General Ojukwu's confident fighting talk, the reality of the matter was that Biafra was by far the underdog in this fight. The Nigerian military was larger, better funded, better trained, and had secured the support of Britain and other world powers. The expectation in Lagos was for the war to be over within a matter of weeks, or in the very worst case scenario, 6 months. But much to the surprise of the Nigerians, the Biafran army would prove a lot more resilient than they could have ever imagined. Despite being composed of a largely untrained and unskilled group of young men and teenage boys, the Biafrans would manage to withstand the Nigerian onslaught for 3 brutal years. The early campaigns of the Nigerian forces were quite successful, as they quickly managed to reclaim significant Biafran cities and monuments.
Right, good day everyone. My name is Herbert Naftali Bello, and of course we are here live in the studio to bring a lot of insightful insight on a particular topic that won the attention of every one of you around the world. This is a topic which it is selected carefully for us to have an insight about the happenings that is existing on the earth and how we get prepared towards life before life brought itself towards us. Today in the studio, I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing with one of the finest in the house. Let me give a little time to introduce herself to you all.
Thank you, Naftali. My name is Okediji Sarah. I'm known as Sarafina Content. I'm a content creator, website, and social media manager.
All right, thank you very much. And let me start by saying I love your dresses and the choice of color. I don't know.
Thank you.
Can you say to our viewers around the world what truly triggers this choice of color? Or is part of the major colors you love being?
No, white is actually my favorite color, actually. I'm a fashion enthusiast. I think during my undergraduate, secondary school days, I learned fashion designing, fashion styling, so I can sew, and I made this myself.
All right, I know somebody is busy saying, let's offer on personal stories. Let's go to what truly brought us to the studio today. And of course, we have a very insightful topic, which I believe you carefully selected to give your insight on. Our topic for today is preparations before opportunity comes in. And let me carefully introduce this topic to our viewers around the world. And we've been going through a lot where we have a lot of people that wants to be this, wants to be that, and for a lot of times, but they never align themselves with the tuning. So when that particular fortune comes in, they usually make them prepared. What am I saying? We have a lot of, if you go to secondary school today, you see a lot of students in school that wants to become doctors, want to become lawyers, want to become, but they are not carefully prepared for it, in the sense that some of these guys that want to become soldiers never knew that you have to have 5 credits in mathematics and all 5 credits in your WAEC or any national examination. And again, we have ladies that want to get married. They begin to feel get in love with kids, but they are never prepared of what they want to see. They are building their life towards what somebody has done in a family or what somebody has done in a marriage. And again, we have some people too that want to dive into businesses, but their mindset towards business is the money to establish the business, but they don't carefully arrange themselves where if the money comes, they can invest and choose a wise investment. That is why sometimes when the money comes, they cannot be able to manage the money and it just walks away. Yeah. And now again, we still have a lot of people that you see them on the road, praying to God, going to church for revelations, for anything, and their attitude towards life. Don't have respect for elders, don't have respect for constituted authorities, don't have respect for bosses in their places of work, but yet they want to succeed. So any moment nature places them towards success, their attitude and behavior send those destiny helpers away from them. And this has become one of the basics that have been chasing people away from their supposed dream. Although, and we live in a world where people see those things as an effect of family challenges, like your grandfather chasing you, your village people, and all of these things. And now bring us to the question today. Do we still have anything like village people chasing somebody, or it is because that person is not prepared for that particular task ahead?
Okay, in my own opinion, I will go with the person is not prepared, actually. Because even if village people enter and all, actually, I don't believe in all those village stuff. I would go for preparation, actually. I don't know if you know about this Tony Elumelu Foundation, where it was giving grants to students, working class. So I was watching a video and I saw when they were willing to give a lady grants, they were asking her, if you are giving you this sum of money, what will you do with it? That was a tricky question, actually. And she was at first like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. In short, she could not come up with something quite reasonable. These are business people that are willing to invest and give you something tangible. All you just have to do is just a little sentence. Tell them what you will do with this money. So you coming for grants as a business owner, you don't even know what you. In short, does that mean you don't need money? No. So that's how that opportunity just missed that lady. And now we're still going to say it's still village people. So I would say it has to do with preparation. Someone like that, you know, there are instances whereby Ashaka and we just meet someone on the road and say, I will give you this, or we need that's different. You are going for a grant program. You applied for this. You registered for this. So you are supposed to prepare for the possible opportunity that might come your way. So in that kind of instance, people were commenting, maybe she's scared. Maybe she is this. You know this is opportunity. A lot of prominent business people here. You're supposed to prepare your mind. Just settle it up. You are going on stage. So I was flattered when I saw that, oh my gosh, she was so scared and a lot of mistakes. So I would say preparation matters a lot. And using a typical example of myself was how I became a social media manager. I was actually into fashion designing and content creation, which content creation is actually my basic niche. So I was just working with a brand and the social media manager flopped up and she needed a social media manager. Actually, I've been watching YouTube video, you know, thank God we are in the 21st century, whereby we have access to a lot of things on the net. You go online, you get courses for free. So I was learning social media management courses, and that's how I just learned it. And she just threw it up to me. I asked Sarafina, do you have someone that can do this? I was like, I can do it now. And she believed in me, actually. So even with preparation, you need someone to believe in you. You need to also believe in yourself, even if nobody is believing in you. So she gave me the platform to work as a social media manager for her brand, and it did well. She got the visibility she wanted. Then I didn't stop at that level. I kept on working on myself, getting courses, registering on Udemy, online courses outside Nigeria to just work on myself. So it's not just about you saying village people and you just sit down. If you just sit down, you're not doing anything. It will not come your way. So you have to grab it. So I would say it's preparation. Lack of adequate preparation is the cause.
All right, thank you for this insightful contribution. And again, when you're making your contributions, that brings me to a particular question. Mention being prepared so that whenever opportunity throws itself, you grab it very well. And I have a question that I want to ask. And do our behaviors, like our attitude, our behavior, the way we relate with people, matters towards our preparations to what we want to become in life?
In fact, I will say, even your behavior yourself, even if you are not prepared at times, even your behavior at times can help you. Why did I say so? You know this grant of a thing. There were some that they were just as if nothing is in their head. There were some that were just like, okay, just give me an opportunity. They were just humble with it. They showed that, okay, I can do this. Talking about the aspect of attitude, it matters a lot. You know, Karl Marx was saying something that human beings are a gregarious creature. We can't live alone. We have to do with people. Human being needs that behavior. It's that behavior that make us a gregarious creature. So now talking about this attitude, when I know that, okay, I'm a social media manager, I can't just manage my page alone. I need to work with other people. Now, using the typical example I use about myself, when I was working with her, is not a small brand, but for her to give me the platform to use her brand, it's some kind of relationship that we've had together, some kind of humbleness that she has seen that, okay, for her to believe in me. If I've been nasty with her, I'm sure nobody will just hand over their page to somebody that does not have any experience. So there are some things that she has seen. In fact, when I work with brands, I at times go out and beyond of my job description just to assist. So, and this thing pays back for me too. Even when I'm not prepared, even in area I'm not prepared for, there are times that my boss will just say, I see that you can do this public speaking. I have a program in Lagos, and that was how, it was actually in Abuja, and that was how she paid my transport, and I went there to represent the brand. So it's not even as if I study any course on public speaking or this, but there were just some things that she saw that I'm teachable. She knew that, okay, if I tell her this, she can give me this. So attitude matters a lot, even beyond your preparation. You can prepare for months, for years. Your attitude can flop you out. Your attitude can just dismantle everything. So we also need to learn our relation with people, irrespective of religion, actually. Even bringing religion, you know, a lot of people, segregation, especially in Nigeria. No, I'm a Christian. Oh, no, in fact, someone was telling me that it seems I have a lot of Muslim friends than Christian friends. So irrespective of religion, race, cultural differences, ethnic differences, you need to learn to relate with people. We exist with the survival of one another.
All right, now that's a very good one. You know, and I don't want to delve into something, but your contribution truly triggered this very question of mine. And you know, when we, as religious people, anytime we want to do something that has to do with our life, our future, we call it our destiny. We begin to go in tune with a religious definition of destiny, where we go into prayers, we go into fasting, we go into all these, most of these faith-related stuffs like that for us to reach to our destiny. While talking about preparation towards meeting anything that will come your way, how prepared you are towards it. What is your position about people that are, like, for example, the Christians? Some people will, instead of, you mentioned when you want to get started into all the content creation, or be it a management of people's page, you are teachable, you are able to go through some courses online, you allow yourself for people to see reasons of investing whatever they want to do in you. And I don't hear you saying you've done like 30 days fasting, you've done like a reading of a Bible, or you've been going to somebody's church, this place, that place, for mountain, for prayers and all this. So I want to know, in as much as I know they might be important, what is the position of religion in terms of those kind of preparations in one's life?
Okay, as a Christian that I am, the Bible says faith without work is in vain. So personally, to me, I take my spiritual life very serious, and relating this spiritual aspect, where people get it wrong at times is a Christian and they just fast and pray and sit down in their house. They are not learning any skill, any work. You know, this kind of similar topic was discussed in a little meeting that I had, and they were talking about how Christian brothers and Christian sisters, especially the quoted one, the Spiricocos ones, how they are not rich, how they are not getting money, how they are suffering, and they are the one that fast the most. What is wrong now? Is it that God is not answering them? So now it takes me back to a moment where we had an entrepreneurship program, and so they were trying to empower people. So the church organized a forum whereby, okay, if you have a business and you need workers, bring it to the secretariat, to the church secretariat. Tell us, okay, you need a newscaster, you need an accountant, drop the degree. Let's give people in the church, people that are fasting, right? People that are praying, let's give them. So people that came, they are not qualified. Some they just stopped at ND. Some is just secondary school. Some no basic knowledge. So they're like, what have you people been doing since? So in as much as I believe in prayer a lot, I believe in fasting a lot, I also stretch out my social life. I also do the work. God will not come down from heaven. He will assist you. He will aid you. When I say we aid you, is me being a content creator, just like I said, it's not even fashion was the basic thing I invested more. I started learning fashion designing JS3, SS1, SS2, SS3, and even before I gained admission. And content, I learned it for, was it just 1 week or 2 weeks? But how I met this lady is, I would say, is not without God too. You know, it's positioning. So when I met her, I came and I had an encountering with her. There are some works that I've done with myself too, that she sees, that now assist everything. So it's not just about you fasting and praying alone. That is where people get it wrong. It's not like it's not good for you to fast and pray, because I would say life is really spiritual, very spiritual. So even in as much as you're taking care of the spiritual aspect, you need to realize that this is a physical world. Most people don't live in their reality, which is where people get it wrong. You know, at times people used to see me and be like, you are here, you are doing this thing, you are doing some social things, this is wrong. Even in as much as I'm not a people pleaser actually, in as much as I try to be myself, I am a Christian. I don't ignore the fact that I'm living in a physical world. And that is why people ignore, no, I will fast and pray. You are not working, you are not learning a skill. If you have a business and because I'm your Christian sister and I've fasted for 30 days and you have a business and you need a manager to manage, not even social media, this aspect, to manage your company, and you're asking me, what did I study? And I'm saying, I didn't, I went, and you ask me, what's the educational background? Like, no, I didn't go to school, I didn't finish. I was in church, I was just fasting. So how will the opportunity come? So in as much as we are balancing spirituality, we need to also balance it in our physical aspects. Go out, even when you are fasting, take a time to go out to explore the social world. You will learn 1 or 2 things that would even influence that spirituality and will help you to balance it. So where people get it wrong is focusing on the spiritual aspects, ignoring the fact that this is the reality. We are living in a physical world, isn't it? The spiritual controls the physical, as I would say. So in as much as we want to balance it with prayer and fasting, do the work too. Go out there, meet people that know better than you. There are some Christian brothers and sisters, so to say. They feel, no, this one is not a Christian, no, I will not mingle with him. Whereas you have a knowledge that I need. So don't say, maybe God is even bringing you together for you to help him and you help me too. So it needs balancing. I will put it that way. It needs accurate balancing.
All right. According to our contributor today in the house, he said it very clearly that it needs balancing. And of course, we are live in the studio discussing on this particular topic of getting prepared before opportunity throw itself. And right in the studio, together with one of the finalists, as I said earlier, Serafina Content, she's good in media promotion. She managed pages for people, and she has been doing this deliberately. And when I say deliberately, I mean a lot of people that have tested her has validated that she is one of the best around. So, and definitely we have people like that wants to key into a particular thing doing, but they keep on procrastinating a lot in their lives, and things are not working the way we expect. We have to start something somewhere before it grow and become bigger. And if in case you're joining us, this is what we are discussing here in the studio. And it brings me to another question. You mentioned something that is very, very important. We need to have a balance between religious and spirituality. And we've seen where religious people come into a picture sometimes when somebody has striving to become something in life. Let's say you went for studies, you finish your university, and somebody that studies mechanical engineering or studies environmental sciences, architecture, or any of these building related courses. And when after the university, he goes for service, and instead of going to places that those knowledge are vital, that people will require those skills, that particular individual will go back to the village where people are not interested in building new houses, people are not interested in developing ships. People, somebody that study chemical engineering is going to a village where there is no anything that is drilled is just water from the well or anything like that. And we have a lot of people with good results, but instead, or somebody that studies law will go back to a place where there is no any jurisdiction for practice,
no law firm,
no any outlet for court or any even a mobile court. So and we have a lot of them in remote environment. There and then their life will begin to reflect even those people that never even tested classes. So in such situations like this particular set of people, what is your advice to them?
I don't know the reason actually. In this kind of aspects, I don't know the in-depth. Some people, financial issue force them to do some things. Debt made some people have to go like, okay, let me go and do farming. And when we look at the current situation in Nigeria, it's not as if there's one job out there. In fact, first-class students are still roaming in the street with their certificate. And at least you eat. So if for months you are still carrying your certificate around, so it has pushed some people to say, there's no hope again. Some people give up easily because there's no support. You finish your university service and all of that, no more alawi. And so you will hit, in fact, family pressure, parental pressure will be on you, especially if you are the firstborn. Your siblings are waiting for you. They won't even give you time. In fact, for ladies, they will be like, when are you getting married? Do you have a boyfriend? So those kind of pressures force some people to just say, this thing is available, even though they know this does not what's the standard. It has forced them to do something below their standard, move them to something below the standard just to survive. So, and some people is just, will I say recklessness, or how should I put some people cases? And one of the things we also need to understand is when we're talking about this niche of a thing, you need to surround yourself with people also that can help you in that niche. If you are into, for example, someone like me that is in the media world, there are some pages I don't follow for specific reason. There are pages I follow because I know this page is not going to add any value to me. So when I position myself with brands that I look up to, people that I look up to, it triggers me. I move with, it's not everybody that is my friend. It's not everybody that can be my friend. I move with people that push me, people that are like, we have the same kind of mindset, the same kind of belief, yes, the same kind of pushing. No, you don't give up. We have to achieve this thing. We have to do this thing. So we have these people at times is just the kind of people they surround themselves with. You will see the people they surround themselves with are just people that believe that I want to finish like this as a lady after service, marriage, husband house, straight. So that pressure alone, they will even forget their words. When you surround yourself with those kind of people, they will make you forget your work. They will not. You will start thinking of, let me just meet a guy, pack in, and get married, and all those certificates will just go wasted. So I would say some people just means of survival. The country is not quite encouraging that well. No job out there, even first class, second class, third class. Not to now even talk of people that are just even graduates. So it has forced some people to just find means of survival.
Getting prepared before opportunity comes. And you mentioned something very, very vital where you acknowledge that work are very limited and the numbers of people graduating on daily basis is increasing. And it brought me to another topic, question, sorry. You mentioned the laxity on the side of people sometimes, and again you mentioned that some people, due to the financial constraint, they don't have option but to go back to where they are at the time. And somebody also will look at it this way, that some people, because of such reasons, some tends to regret the time they energy they spend. Some even call it a waste. And today we have somebody like you that is shining even with the limited number of the age is not that much, and you've taken leverage of the opportunities you have at the time. And the honor of both medias, like the social media and the rest, they keep on saying that they gave a level ground for everybody to strive on the internet space. And I know very well you never studied computer science, not even computer engineering, and I don't even think you studied mass communication at the time. But yet, what makes you very visible this time around is the media space. And I don't know, can you, on that aspect of people not begin to feel like their studies is not relevant to them because I studied this, I'm not doing it, or I've studied this, I end up doing this, like the way you may study something and now you are working on social media. Is there anything that the school you attended or the course you studied contributed towards your journey to where you are at the time?
Yeah. I finished from the prestigious University of Ilorin and I studied sociology. I would say sociology really, in fact, if I had the opportunity to still study that course again, I would really go for it. It really shapes me to be a social person. Right from a very tender age, I've been quite social. My parents can attest to that. They know that among my siblings, I'm that one that likes the social world. I like being out. I like camera. I like making social decisions, social friends. So when I studied sociology, there were some things that I didn't learn, that I had no knowledge before, that now I have. As a sociology student, during my undergraduate days, there are times we do practical. Back then in the University of Ilorin, I was part of the debate schools. So I had the platform to join the university presidential debate team, whereby I would organize it in the chambers where the VC, a lot of prominent people will come and we will do debates. So if not for sociology, they had the platform to stand there. So it gives me that boldness. There was a time we had to do a debate presentation, interfaculty debates. So I thought it's just the normal thing we just do in that faculty. So they said it's the main auditorium. I was just dressed. And when I saw car parked, people outside, I was scared. No, you didn't tell me this. They said, no, you can do it. So, and lo and behold, we did it. I think with 2 seconds, not first actually. But, you know, it triggered something in me. I'm standing in front of knowledgeable people. I'm standing in front of prominent people. No, whatever life throws at me, I'm throwing it back at life. So it gives me that courage. So since that time, I start sitting down with my own camera. I start, me and my friends will just do little debates, record it, post it on my cellular. I don't even have my own advanced social media page. When I talk about advanced, like Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and others, it's just my WhatsApp. So if not for the platform of their education, they had to pass through. And sociology, just like it's all about social world, it's really influenced my social world. It's influenced my social character. It's influenced that social being in me. So I would say school is not a scam. And there was this thing that I saw online too about, if we are going to be sincere, there are some courses that are not necessary in the university that people are studying. The courses, the jobs are not available in Nigeria. There are some courses that you will just hear someone studying, and I realize this one is a course, and you even ask the person, okay, you know, if you study medicine in school, you work in a hospital. If you study law, you are going to work in a law firm or in a courtroom. Now they will give you some courses, and not to mention it, because so as not to cause problem. Though I would just hear some courses and I'll be like, which job is this one applicable? It's not as if it's not applicable, but in this Nigeria setting, is it applicable? No, it's not applicable. So this is also one of the things that make people feel like, no, it's because you are not in the right channel. Just like this saying, no knowledge is a waste. No knowledge is a waste at all. So it's either you are not in the right setting for that knowledge, that's when it becomes a waste. It's either you're not in the right platform for that setting. So I just talking about me being a social media. If I'm a social media manager and then I move to the village, network is an issue. farmers whereby they just farm, people will just bring trailer and pack it. What did they need a social media manager for? They don't even have a phone. And I go there and I say, okay, let's assume social media management is a course in the university. That's what I study. Then I pack my bag, I'm in the village and I'm applying for a job. No farmer wants to apply because they don't deal with the social world. And you tell them, let's create content with these 2 bags of yam and post it to get sales. They'll be like, the money that I'm even using to pay you, let me buy more seed. Because they know people will come. It's a farm now. Even the network is not even good for me to post and say, maybe people in Jalingo will see it and come and order it. So right platform too is what make these courses like this not relevant. For someone that studied French, one of my friend in school, we are not really close like that, just hostel mate. She studied French. In fact, she not even wait for service before she got a job outside, whereby they just need a French translator, like all this embassy of a thing. How many embassies do we have in Nigeria? How many embassies do we have in Nigeria? And in Jalingo self, and we have 100 students in French department, 100 level, 100, 200 level, 300 students, 400 level, 90 students. They are studying this course. And at the end of the day, when you count them, there are like 1,000 people that studied French. And they will finish. And it's now look like the job is... In fact, this French of a thing is a high-paying job, even remotely. Very high-paying job. There are platforms that employ people like... you will teach people French, will pay you. You translate the English and the French, and they will pay you. Especially outside the country, where all these tourists people will go, they will just employ you. So when a French tourists come, you will be the one to attend to them and they will pay you your money. So right platform also matters a lot, and the avenue, the opportunity, most of these opportunities are not available. So that is why those courses look like trash, but I will say it again and again. No knowledge is a waste at all.
All right. Time is no longer on our side, and it is said that it is not even our friend. For we would like to dive more and continue because the topic is becoming so interesting. But we keep on saying it, and people should know that a platform is very important for you to strive well. And when we talk about platform, it's readiness, being able to identify what I want to do, where those knowledge can be useful, and then you create what it takes for you to get that steps. As it is said, a journey of 1,000 miles began with a step. I knew of somebody back then in the university during my undergraduate days that went studying medicine, but he has an uncle that is working with the Central Bank of Nigeria. So the uncle was saying that why will he waste much time to go and read medicine for over 7 years while he can just do banking and finance for 4 years, and now he can just secure a job. And the guy was very devastated, thinking that he will go for medicine, and his intent of going into that particular course is money. That is where our problem is. If truly money is what you are looking at while going to the university, then you know the kind of course that is ready sellable in the market for you to get that money. The reason why a lot of people were now becoming so discouraged with their outcome in education is because they go to university to not just to study course, but to study what they think will give them money to succeed in life. So at the end of everything, when the money is not there, they begin to feel like the course is very useless. We have seen somebody that studied crop science. What he does is, after the studies, he go to markets, snap pictures of varied crops from different markets. Today, he can be able to send in trailer from northern part of Nigeria to the southern part of the country, and he's doing very well. And then we also have some people that studied, just as you mentioned, somebody studied Hausa. While he was in the university, somebody was saying, what is he going to do with Hausa? But today he's in China translating Hausa in the BBC there. And then we have a lot of them. The thing is, you get prepared. Where do I see myself next 5 years to come? How am I pursuing myself towards it? I know you started all this issue of content creation, business, social media business. You sat down, you think, and you have what we call forecasting and management, where you begin to forecast where you are going to arrive at in next 5 years. That is why it becomes so easy for you. I know there are a lot of difficulties. Yes, You have been seeing a lot of difficulties. There are times that even money for data will not be there, and mommy and daddy will not even believe in the dream. There are times that some people around you may not believe in your dream, not even your friends, not even guys in your life, and many other people that may come across. But still at that, because you have the Christian says, the book of Timothy says that you press towards a mark. You are mindful of that particular mark, irrespective of the difficulties that you pass across. And so, and today, as God will have it, with the numbers of age that you arrive at, we have people that are more than double your age, but still couldn't identify what to do at the time. And when we talk about this issue of courses studied in the university, people begin to feel like there are no opportunities. And from when you start talking, I begin to fall in love with sociology. Even when I see people on social media saying that they regretted studying sociology, here is somebody very proud of the course she studies, and she accrued all the successes she involved herself in up to the moment we're talking about now, to the course she studies. And I think I believe in whatever you said towards this journey you mentioned. So that is why it is good for somebody to identify the environment that his course is very relevant to. And if where you believe you have dominance over, if you are from the north and you don't have anybody in the south, and you know the all the refineries of Nigeria is majorly in the southern part of the nation, and you went and studied chemical engineering, and definitely you don't have means of transporting yourself or any other, you cannot be able to resist whatever temptation will come at the cost of changing environment, then you need to have a rethink. It is more of having a choice, the choice that have a balance that cut across your locality, where you want to go and what you want to do, people you want to meet with, people you don't want to meet with. And before we go, I have just one question for you, and I think we'll be done for the day. And in case my viewers all around the world, if you have any contributions or any questions that you want to ask on this very episode that we are into, you can drop it on the comment section. As well, you can like and share for people to have a good insight. And I believe anyone that is coming across this video will have one or two that will pick, and we'll continue doing this. Think next time we're going to bring another very vital story. And thank you very much. And before we go, I told you I have a question for you. Now, you already managing some people's pages, so far so good, and maybe we have some people that will begin to fall in love with sociology, as you mentioned, people that need to fall in love with content creation and fall in love with social media management. And I think maybe that brings us to the question: if somebody want to go in tune with the line you want to, you're already not we cannot say you're already more of a professional now in the field. So, and how can somebody have access to your coaching if in case you want to be a mentee under you for you to mentor? And then again, but always of the successes recorded, you've not been able to identify where your struggles and your strength sometimes may deem not too clear for you. And so we will need to get all these things, and then there we will just have a break for today.
Okay, talking about how to get access to, beyond getting access to media, also platform. And it doesn't matter whether you study sociology or not, there are other platforms one can learn. However, I'm planning content and social media training in February, and the easiest way to access me is Sarafina Content on Instagram and on TikTok. And talking about the challenges, I've been through quite a lot of challenges when it comes to network, when it comes to phone. I was using, I won't mention the name of the brand, there was a phone brand I was using before. It was quite problematic, whereby you would want to post something, it will direct you to WhatsApp. After you finish typing the caption, you have to go back. And you know, one of the things that has to do with being a social media manager, you also have to study the metrics. Posting time matters a lot. Maybe you are supposed to post by 2 and your phone is malfunctioning. So I had to settle down. Then I knew this was what I wanted to do. But I knew this is not giving me what I want to do. And one thing about me is, instead of me to spoil my brand name, I would rather stop that thing. So I stopped for a while after my university days. Then I was working as a kitchen assistant with a food brand. So, and that's where I got little knowledge of cooking, food plating and all of that. So I was saving the money. Once in fact, I was even earning like 15,000 naira per month. It's a part-time job because I was still an undergraduate. So from that 15,000 naira, I was saving at times 8,000, 10,000. So I'm not waiting till the money is bulky. I knew as a content creator and a social media manager, I need a tripod, right? Once the money for 2 months is enough to buy a tripod, I got a tripod. I got a LED light. If not for NYC that brought me to Taraba State, I have my own content space where I do my own shooting. So I stopped for a while. That's where the challenges comes in. For some people, they might try to continue with it. But for me, I love standard things. I love professionalism. If you are putting something out there, let it be worth it. So it's not as if it's necessary you put it on hold. You can still manage with what you have. But for me, I knew where I'm not even there yet. So I knew this is what I'm going for. This is not even giving me. So this thing will just spoil my relationship with people. And one thing about business is referrals work a lot. If you spoil it, you spoil your brand because of just this small mistake, the person will not go and tell them that this was the challenges you had then. You don't have it again. You spoiled it for life. So I stopped that time and I was able to get tripod. I was able to get lightings. I was able to get props. I was able to get decoration to renovate my space back then and have my own space, get content chairs for my space, get even a fashion space whereby even when I'm talking about fashion, I have my own shelf, my own hangers and everything, a space decorated. You think as if I'm even selling clothes. So I had to invest in it. I had to stop. It was quite challenging, but one thing that I had that mindset of, no, I'm not distracted. The fact that I'm still earning here does not mean this is where I will settle with. I have a place I am going. This is just to aid me to where I am going. So phone was one of my major problems back then. And truth being told, I'm not advertising iPhone, but iPhone actually is quite good for social media management and content creator. So I had to say, okay, let me save and get this one. So I had to sell that one. I was not even using a phone at that moment. Then add the money I had, then get a phone. Network also became an issue, whereby this network would just go on blank. And pressure, someone that is paying you to manage your social media page, they don't even take it with levity, and because they just want the best from you. So once they are not seeing you online, they feel you are not doing it, they get angry, and it became quite an issue for me. So these little things, as little as it may seem, it's really affected me quite a lot. So it's just with the grace of God. Yes, let me put it with that. With the grace of God, I was able to scrape through. And one of the way I did to solve my own challenges. Now, how did I solve those challenges? I sat down. Okay, I'm a content creator. I'm a social media manager. What are they complaining about? I give room for criticism. When I work with a brand, there is this document I will send to them. Please let me fill this so I can get better. So I look at it. What are they complaining? Sarafina, you don't respond to time. Sarafina, this thing. So I sat down and said, this is the complaint. Why are they complaining? Is it like intentional? Maybe I just slept off. So why are they complaining my phone? Okay, this thing, lighting. So I listed my challenges. Then I took a pause and said, let me solve these challenges. And once I was able to solve them, and life is full of challenges, it doesn't mean I'm now perfect. No problem. I have to keep on solving it. So at this level, I have been able to solve the previous one. So I'm still working with this current one and solve it. So one of the ways I would say people out there that are intending to work in this line is you need to know what it takes to be a social media manager. You need to know the requirements and list them out and find a way to get them. Work on yourself, your weaknesses. Everyone should know their weaknesses and their strength. one of my own weaknesses when I'm working with brand is I hate pressure a lot. I'm not someone that likes to be pressured. Hello, I want you to post this. No, something. And probably I'm in a setting. I'm just like we are in a podcast now, and someone just call me. Now, do this thing, and I'm rushing. And I'm not someone that works with that. So one of the ways I used to do it, I'll just give them heads up. People that I'm working with. Oh, today I'm going for this meeting, this so time. Do you need me? If no, or if you need me, is it possible we adjust the time? And sincerely speaking, God helping me, I've been able to survive with pressure due to constant communication. I just communicate with my brand. So I know my weakness that once you pressure me, in fact, I might just lose it and say, please, let's just hold on for now. So I tend to also let the brand I'm working with know my weaknesses. You know, a lot of people, you have a no, it doesn't mean you are weak or you cannot handle it. Let them know this is my weakness. This is what I have. So let's understand how do we work it. And thank God for the gift of men and for the gift of good people. The people I work with are so understanding. So we now sit down. Then we had a meeting with all the brands I work with. And so we now had to resolve it. Okay, this is what worked for me. Currently, I'm working with a brand in the UK. It's a cake business. So, and you know, time differences affect us. In the UK, when we are in the afternoon, at times, in fact, God is just wonderful. Time changes. At times today, we might be in the afternoon, they might be in the night. And the next day, they will be in the morning, and we are in the night. I'm like, why is this thing changing? So, and when I'm sleeping, might be when my boss is active, when she is in the office, and then she will just message me. There was a time I just saw a call, 3:15 or 3:20, and my phone just rang, and I didn't even pick it. I was just looking at it like maybe it's still inside the dream. So why would someone call me by this time? And she just told me like the time zone has changed. So I had to speak to her. Okay, let's do it like this. When you know the time zone has changed, communicate with me again. So there are times that our own evening might be your own noon. So it will work for both of us. I will not be affected, you will not be affected, and at the same time your business will not be affected. So I know my weakness. I'm not someone that shy for my weakness. I don't even care if someone knows this is me. You accept me in as much as I'm accepting myself. That is one of the things that matters a lot. So whether you're a social media manager or you're not a social media manager, let people that you're working with know your weaknesses, know your strengths, then you work it together.
All right. That's a very wonderful one, and it's coming to you from our studio right here. And of course, we've taken a lot of time to discuss this wonderful topic: how you get prepared before opportunity comes your way. And you know, opportunity. Some school of thought say opportunity comes but once. Some says a lot of opportunity throw itself at you. It depends on the one you make choices at. Sometimes you make the right one. Sometimes if you're not lucky enough, you make the wrong one. And it is very, very good. We're not talking majorly on social media aspect of life alone. If you want to marry, you need to take time to study, to prepare for that marriage before marriage throw itself around you. We have a lot of people that today, after 1 month or two in marriages, marriage get collapsed. We have some people starting their businesses before they get to understand they spend a lot of money. And while other people have some little money with them, but they end up taking themselves to different bars, clubs, and many other places thinking they don't have money to start a business. So you can still save for you to start a business. That is the essence. And also those of you that want to go for studies too, we have a way that you take care of yourself. When you go to the university, there are difficulties. Yes, it's true. Some will try to weigh you down. But then there are other jobs that are found within the university. Selling of food, posting on social medias, a lot of things like that. It be the social media stuffs like that, it will give you a lot of food on your table. So, and when you are doing things like this, you will find out that when this opportunity finally comes, you will be fully ready, you'll be fully prepared, you'll be fully get set for any of these that will come your way. And before we surely leave our guest in the house, I want to tell you that we continue doing this, but we have different, vital, more important, interesting, and wonderful topics that will keep on coming your way. But before we go, I want you to look down the screen and tell that person, I know there's this one person that is waiting for this last word from you. Let him just, what he is anticipating or what he is trying to do, tell him that he should get prepared so that when the opportunity comes, you meet him readily prepared for that thing.
All right. So to everyone out there, you're looking for job opportunity, you're looking for means of survival, the opportunity is coming. Be patient, wait for it, and trust me, you will get it.
You get it. What she said, trust me, you will get it, she means get prepared towards that. And when it surely comes, it will surely worth it. And this is the end of our episode for today. This is your boy, Herbert Naftali Bandawa. And then we'll do it once again. Thank you.